Hi Yannick, congratulations on the title and the entire tournament. I imagine you will celebrate the title today, but I want to ask you, since the final was shorter than expected and you have more rest, can you confirm that you will be in Rome, or are you still not 100% sure?
No, I think playing at home is always very special, and at the same time, now I just want to enjoy this. I don't want to think about future plans. If physically I'm good, there's no reason not to play Rome, of course. But in the same time, I want to enjoy this. It has been a very, very long tournament. I'm starting from Indian Wells, and obviously very happy. But now it's also good to recover, especially also mentally. We did a lot. There's always a lot of pressure, and so let's see.
Hi Jannik, congrats for the title. Zverev said a few minutes ago that there's a big difference between you and the rest of the tennis players. Do you agree with that statement? Thank you.
It's tough to say. I mean, sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. It also depends when I play against someone. But always try in every tournament. One day can make big changes. If we see the first day, here against first round matches, they are very tough. And then after you try to raise your level, and today it was a really, really good performance, from my side, very solid, serving well. And but look, it's I don't compare myself, with other players. I try to be the best possible version of myself, and that's it. So but in the same time, it also depends, day by day. It's always different.
Yannick, congratulations for another Masters 1000 title. Rafa Nadal once said that if doesn't exist in tennis, but when I'm looking at your game, I have to ask, what if you don't lose a match for the rest of the season? Do you think it's possible?
No, it's not possible. No, it's unnecessary to talk about this.
Just to know, Jannik, you were a very good skier when you were young. Do you think that helps you as a tennis player in your movement, slice, or you are very...
No, I think mostly I think mentally it helped me, to be honest, because skiing, if you crash, you hurt yourself, so tennis, it's a bit different. There is no reason to be scared of certain moments. In the same time, there is a lot of respect also here, and movement, maybe, sliding, from both sides, maybe help me, but it's difficult to say.
Hi Jannik, congratulations. You're the first man to win 1,000 in a row, so how conscious you are that you're making history, that you're creating a legacy?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. In the same time, as I always said, I cannot compare myself with Rafa, Roger, Novak. What they did, it's something incredible. And I don't play for these records. I don't play for records in general. I play for myself. I play for my team. Because they know what's behind, and also my family. Because my family, with the success I've had, they also never changed, how they are towards me. They are simple parents, and I feel very safe when I'm around them, and we never talk about tennis when I'm at home, so it's a great relationship. It's really just, parents and me, and yeah, look, it means, of course, a lot. There are great numbers, but there is a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice behind this, and it's also daily routines I put in. And I'm the first person who needs to be ready, in the morning to wake up. And I like the journey. I like to put myself in the best possible position to be the best version of myself. You know, I don't play for other records, and as I said, what other players did in the past and Novak's still doing, it's something incredible, and I cannot compare myself with them.
Jannik, congrats with the title and the great performance. Could you, in this 5 Masters which you won, could you name maybe 1 or 2 games which were the hardest for you? And could you, do you see anyone in the world besides Carlos who could compete with you at big tournaments in the next few years?
Yeah, I mean, as I always said, you know, things can change quickly, you know, in every scenario, and you know, there are great players around, and you know, the players, they try to beat you, you know, in every day, and most of the time the pressure is on my side. You know, you have to handle this thing too, and you know, Novak, he beat me in Australia playing great tennis, incredible tennis. So let's see. You know, I cannot predict the future. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how I am gonna arrive physically or mentally, you know, to the biggest stages and the biggest tournaments. I don't know. You know, I try to put myself in the best possible position. At the same time, it's tough to say. You know, I also can have bad days. I just try to find solutions somehow. And talking about tough matches. There are, every match is tough, you know. There is not one what's easy, you know. Also today, if I drop a little bit of concentration, break back in the second, and you know, everything starts over again, you know. So it's tough to say. Different conditions all the time, you know. Paris is indoor, then you go to Indian Wells, very bouncy. Miami is very flat, then you go change surface, you go to Monaco, it's a bit slower, then you go here, it's very high altitude, and if you serve well, it's a lot to do, but it's tough to say, and I don't want to pick a couple of matches.
Congratulations, Jannik. Your 5th Masters, 1,000 title in a row, a very spectacular performance and extremely dominant as well. Like the match actually lasted less than your practice session yesterday. So my question is actually like, so I have a 2-part question. First is like, do you ever feel bored of like being quite dominant and like a level above everybody else, and like players not being up to the challenge? And secondly, like, who are the upcoming players who you think could be like a big challenge in the coming years, who you've witnessed or played with? Thank you.
It's tough to say because you know, when this I also don't like to answer this kind of questions, you know, because it's, you have to be careful. There are great players, people and player we know, who seems like they are coming and they are actually there already. But in the same time, you never know, you know. There is like someone like Shodar, 6 months ago nobody saw, and he's now here under the names, you know, and maybe this can happen in a couple of months. There is a new player coming, you know, Blocks. He made semis here, and, you know, before, you know, he was a little bit undercover, you know, so it's very tough to say. I think great potential players, everyone. And you need to be ready, you know. You need to inform yourself against with every name who is gonna come. You need to be very much informed, you know. And of course, my job is always to improve as a player, because at the end of the day, the results is only a consequence of how much work you put in. And we are definitely working very well, but we need to keep going, you know, because if you drop a little bit, people are gonna catch very fast, and so I'm very happy to keep working.
Hi Jannik, congrats on your title. Today in Spain is Mother's National Day. I know that maybe in Italy it's in 1 week or so, but you talk about your family before, and I want to ask you, what is your mother for you? Like not only as a tennis player, but as a person that live with your family?
Look, I consider myself very lucky, lucky because when I was 13, I made a choice, to leave home and to go to a center to practice. And I think this for parents is very difficult, but especially for a mother, to accept that in a way, to just go, and living home. And I think it was tough for me, but it was for sure more tough for parents, because they also would like to see the kid growing up. And that's definitely a little bit, I missed out a little bit time, spending time with my parents, and I would like to catch up as much as I can. Obviously, at home, grandma and grandpa, the parents of my mom, they're still both alive, and so I understand her very, very much, that she wants to stay at home and spend as much time as possible with them. But I also would like to have more time with family, and it's great to see, Carlos, for example, traveling with family and brother, and I think he's doing very well, because when somebody's not there anymore, then you regret it, so hopefully I can have some more time with my parents and the people I love, and also with my brother and friends, and because things can change, and so she's definitely a role model, and I'm very happy to have my mom and very happy to have my dad, and they are a true inspiration for me. I just try to be a little bit like them, because then I know that that I'm a good person,
Thank you. We'll now do Italian. Start.
Jannik, hai detto che non ti piacciono i record, però ne hai appena fatto uno e adesso c'è Roma, un italiano non vince dal 76, c'è il record di Nole, 31 vittorie, 6-28, sarebbe il tuo nono ed ultimo slam, diventeresti il più giovane. Non so se, oltre al fatto di giocare a Roma, hai detto che è a casa, se tutto questo conta poi un po' nella tua testa.
Ma no, sono sicuramente felice di riandare a Roma, è un torneo molto speciale. L'anno scorso ho fatto il rientro dopo un periodo difficile, mi ha dato tanto sicuramente dalla parte emotiva e come supporto in generale, no? Quindi sono molto felice di ritornare lì, e nell'altro senso, sai, vincere il torneo non è facile, sai, tutti i tornei sono molto difficili, e quindi vediamo come andrà lì, però in questo momento onestamente sto solo pensando di riposarmi per i prossimi 2 o 3 giorni mentalmente, perché ho dato tanto e c'è tanta energia dietro che uno spende in un torneo, quindi vediamo.
Jannik, complimenti, ti rinnovo i complimenti per l'ennesima volta in questa settimana. Abbiamo perso gli aggettivi dall'Italia per descriverti. Riguardo Sascha, perché oggi abbiamo notato da fuori che da subito era abbastanza nervoso, e volevo chiederti se anche tu hai notato la stessa cosa, cioè Sascha sembra veramente atrofizzato dalla tua presenza, dalla tua ingombrante presenza, quindi dimmi tu.
Secondo me era un po' più stanco oggi, e quindi anch'io quando sono un po' più stanco tendo ad essere un po' più nervoso, la cosa più normale, credo ognuno è fatto un po' così, e poi ho brecato molto presto, e questo non è facile accettare, no? Essendo un giocatore, anche a me quando mi succede sono subito break sotto, è difficile accettare, no? Soprattutto i quarti di finale, semifinale, finale, quando il torneo sta diventando più grande, è tosta, però sai, credo che ho giocato molto solido nei punti importanti, ho cercato di stare sulle scelte giuste, e poi il risultato è stato ottimo.